Welcome back to this week's BD Outdoors Sportboat Roundup. A lot of fish to be had out west right now. That's where a lot of the volume is. You might be lucky if you're going out on smaller boats to catch some of those big ones, but for right now, sport boats are going far. There's high risk, high reward to be had. I brought with me 5 essential rods to bring with you if you're going out right now. So let's start by going into a 20-pound, 25-pound setup. So this is a 9-foot rod. It's rated 20 to 40-pound setup. I have just a small fathom 15 on it. Plenty of line capacity. There's 40-pound braid. I usually fish a top shot of about 50 or so feet of mono on there. If you're hitting a kelp, it's perfect. This thing can pitch out that bait very far, especially if there's a little bit of wind too, just to try and get that bait out there. You just need a J-hook put on there. I've even used this rod for bluefin as well. So if you're getting into that 20, even 40-pound range, if you have a 25-pound fluoro top shot on here, small size 2 circle hook, this is really more of a finesse rod to try and get a bite, but definitely we would recommend a 25-pound fly line setup, either for those smaller bluefin or if you happen to hit a kelp patty with some yellowtail on it. This second rod, this is my absolute favorite setup. I probably get bit on this rod more than any other fly line setups that I have. It's a 25 to 40-pound UC rod with a Talica 10 on it. I have 30-pound braid, and I'll fish this with 4 to 5 arm lengths of 30-pound fluoro. So this is a straight 30 to 30-pound rod. Again, I'm going to be using this as a fly line setup, small size 2, size 4 circle hooks. I generally try to finesse my fly line a little bit more, but this has been a top producing rod for me right now, especially when there's a lot of wind, there's a lot of current. You really want to try and get that bait out there. You want a rod that has enough backbone on it. You want a reel that has enough line capacity on it. This is going to be one of my favorite go-to rods for any bite. The third rod that I have here, especially if you're fishing fly line bluefin, you might use either a 40-pound, some guys were getting bit on a 50-pound fly line outfit just the other week. This is a rod that I can fish that 40, 50-pound fluoro, but I can also fish for it at night to get some yellowtail. So a lot of yellowtail to be seen and had if you're using a dropper loop setup for those yellowtail, especially at night. Like I mentioned before, there's been a lot of wind right now. So honestly, you want to be dropping down some heavy weight. So anywhere from 10 to even 16 ounces of weight on that dropper loop with a big J-hook. So a couple of the yellowtail that I got on dropper loop last week in the dark was on a long dropper loop, maybe 2 feet or so, and you're using anywhere from a 4.0 to even a 6.0 J-hook on there. A lot of guys were using live squid. If you had a boat that was able to make squid, live squid was able to get you a couple bites. I was able to get a couple bites off of squid as well as sardine. The next rod I have, these are going to be my bigger bluefin setups. So if you are lucky enough to come across that bigger model, those bigger grades of bluefin, and I'm talking anywhere from 60, 80-pound plus and up, I don't have anything less than 100-pound on these setups. I have a 60 sized reel on here. This is going to be able to handle anything that I happen to get. So 100-pound setup, using a jig at night, sinker rig, drop shot for big bluefin, that's going to be this rod. And I have another rod here just for jigs. So my vertical jigging rod is coming with me anytime I'm targeting bluefin. Sometimes I may not want to target bait and maybe they're keyed in on some metal. So I'm going to have my rod here and hopefully try and get a bite on the up and down, and in the event that bluefin aren't biting on bait. So there you go. These are 5 essential rods to have with you on the trips right now. Good luck out there. I'll check in with you guys next time.